Irma hitting Jacksonville with its worst flooding in more than 150 years, according to officials there. And forecasters say it will continue to threaten the city for days to come. People who live in Jacksonville say the intensity of the flooding took them totally by surprise, and they have never seen anything like it. Now, meteorologists say even more flooding could hit the city because the storm waters from the Carolinas, well, they all have to move south. Rick Leventhal is live for us in St. Augustine, Florida. He's just south of Jacksonville. Rick, beach erosion is another big issue there, right?
Remarkable, Trace. We're on North Beach, also known as Volcano Beach. This area hit very hard by Hurricane Matthew a year ago. A lot of homeowners had to do a lot of work to shore up their beachfront homes. They have a lot more work to do. This is a lot worse. Look at the house right next to us that has come down onto the beach. There are dozens of homes like this up and down the coastline that are either completely destroyed, knocked down onto the beach, or teetering on the edge with their pilings exposed, and they're in grave danger of also falling down into the beach and into the sea. And if you look at the side right here, at the sea wall or the ground, the waves carved out 8 to 10 feet high, at least in some spots, just tore that ground away, tore yards and yards of beach away. And if you look at this homeowner's seawall, he built a 400-foot wall to protect two houses next door to each other. You can see where part of the wall actually collapsed in the storm. But if not for this wall, these two houses would definitely have been compromised. And we want to show you another location we went to in South Ponte Vedra Beach, which is just a few miles down the road here, where another stretch of homes were horribly damaged. We saw a two-story house there that was completely chewed apart by the wind and the waves and the rain. It is destroyed, will have to be torn down and replaced. We spoke with a contractor who's working on it today.
Last year the house got undermined, as you can, well, you can't see now, but the house was undermined, the slab dropped, so we jacked it back up, reinforced it, and we were just finishing the permitting to be able to put a permanent bulkhead out here to protect the foundation. And the storm knocked off the back half of the house and took away all the work that we've been doing for the last year.
Chris told me the ocean takes what the ocean wants. Trace?
You know, Rick, before I get to Jacksonville, I want to ask you one more question about where you are right now. People have asking all day, say, you know, the storm was supposed to be on the other side of the state. How was the storm surge so bad, and how high was it where you are in St. Augustine?
Well, the person who owns this home, fortunately, was not here during the storm. A lot of these folks were not here during the storm. There was one person that died in this county from a heart attack, an elderly woman, during the height of it. We don't know what the storm surge was right here, but again, if you just look at how much beach was carved away, it is literally 10 to 12 feet high in spots where the ground used to be, and it's now fully exposed. So this was a violent storm that did tremendous damage to miles of coastline here in St. Johns County.
Amazing. And Rick, what else do we know about the flooding in Jacksonville?
Well, it's the worst they've seen in 150 years. A lot of the waters have receded, but there are still some flooded streets and still danger of more flooding, we're told. You know, there were at least 250,000 power customers who lost power during the storm. Most of them, or a lot of them, have gotten it back. About 100,000 still in the dark today. They're still dealing with a lot of other issues there in Jacksonville, cleanup and that sort of thing. They believe that they're on the way back. We can tell you that the State Department of Environmental Protection is among the agencies that are trying to help with this problem along the coastline, assessing the damages. But there are a lot of people who are just now beginning to count their losses, Trace.
Just statewide. Rick Leventhal live for us in St. Augustine, Florida. Rick, thank you.